Hey YouTube, this is the Death Scouter making another video, and today we're going to be troubleshooting why my vehicle goes into a degraded mode where my traction control light and my ABS light comes on the dash. Plugged in my code reader. You have to have a code reader that supports your anti-lock braking system or ABS. Rolling the key forward 3 times in the ignition will not show your ABS codes in your odometer, just your powertrain codes. And I'm seeing this this code tells me right off the bat it is my right rear wheel speed sensor, which I knew in advance, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off this now, and let's take a walk to the back of my Jeep and find out what is a wheel speed sensor and where is it located. And I am very grateful that this is on the rear of the vehicle, plus they are a pain in the butt on the front. And what we have here, I'm sure we can get in there a little better with this camera, but on each of the rear wheels, recessed into the wheel hub assembly, is this thing right here with this electrical clip on it. It goes into the wheel. It's held in place with an 8mm bolt, hex head bolt. So this is what we're going to be replacing. Should it be simple? Sure, it should be simple, and we'll find out. We'll start by pulling out that red locking tab that keeps that electrical connection in place. Sometimes they're a bit of a pain, and sometimes you need a screwdriver to pry them out of place, and I'll probably have to do that. Get that electrical connector off. Once the red tab comes out, you depress another tab and then wiggle the connection off the speed sensor, and then it'll be this 8mm nut. Pull the sensor out and then put it all back together in the same reversing the order that we took everything apart. So that being said, let me go get some tools. Let me go get on some light so I can see a little better, and I'll resume the video. So here's what we did. We took Mr. Screwdriver onto this connection here. I'll pull this connection down so you can see it a little better. Mr. Screwdriver came in and pried out. I didn't mean to completely remove it, but it pried out this locking tab, which I can easily snap back in and replace. And then there was a tab here that we would depress. There it is. That's the bugger right there. There's the tab there that we would depress and wiggle the plug out. And the plug is out. Do a little visual inspection, make sure it's not full of corrosion or dirt. Obviously mount it to the wheel. That's not uncommon or impossible. And now we'll just get in here with this 8mm. I took off my long reach extension. I'm going to go ahead and put that back on. So let's go back and get our extension and see how easy it is to take this thing out of here. Let me show you what I've got. Funny, the same tool I used on a video that I made 2 days ago. This is my long extension, 8mm socket, sitting on the end of what's called a wobble extension. You see how it allows that socket to move around, as we may or may not have a straight shot into this 8mm nut. So it's kind of like a U-joint, right? You need a little, and if you could see, let me try to get back. You can see the angle at which my extension's coming in here. So it's not a straight on. Well, there it is. It's pretty straight now. You could do this with a U-joint attachment, possibly just a straight on. These wobble extensions are really handy. I mean, I just love them. Don't know what I paid for a set of various sizes and various lengths at Harbor Freight, but they've come in handy. So I'm going to go ahead, and looks like I've got that nut just about out, and then we're going to work out that extension, I mean that sensor. I'll show you what I did here. I got a set of adjustable channel locks, and I gently grabbed here on the end, and I wiggled up and down as I pried the channel locks against the back of the caliper here to get just enough force to pull this out. And you'll see a ton of dirt is coming out here. So I'm sure that is part of our problem. I will be using my air compressor to blow this out and clean this up. But in the meantime, I will be working to, as gently and delicately as possible, withdraw this sensor. If you want to know what we're up against, you can simply look at the new one. So it's about this long. I've only got a fraction of it out. I watched one video on YouTube where a guy had to get in here and disconnect the rear sway bar link. I'm not sure if that's necessary. If it is, it is. It's just a couple nuts and bolts, but I'm going to take a guess that I can find a way around it. And just keep wiggling this thing and maneuvering it till I can find out how exactly it comes out of the damn hole. So for that, we're going to take I'm going to go ahead and open up this bag, take a closer look at what might be. Let me do that. Let me set that there. Let's open this up and see what might be getting hung up. Obviously, it's probably these tabs down here as I'm trying to slide it out. Hope you can see that. So I'm just going to work this, continue to work this ever so gently. Just get this out, and then I'll be putting the other one in its place. Wow, so much dirt falling out of there. All right. I've stopped and started this video a few times as I got in here and did the work. I'm just going to show you what I've got here. I've got a long handle blow extension off my air compressor. I'm just going to see what kind of shit comes out of there. Oh yeah. So you saw a lot of crap blow out from in there. I just want to make sure that when we put this in, it goes well. I do want to show you, what do I want to show you? Oh, so the wheel speed sensor naturally sits vertical like that. When I say vertical, I mean the screw hole is above the electrical connector. I actually had to rotate it a quarter of a turn towards me so that this little tab where the screw is facing towards me, and then I could wiggle it out of that housing. So I'm just going to go ahead and put everything back in. Here's the new one. Always like to tell you my prices. $22 aftermarket online with all of my discounts. By buying online, I got this thing for like 15 bucks. Genuine Mopar, it's about twice that, 3 times that. But for something as simple as this, I don't think a genuine Mopar part was required. I think aftermarket's going to be just fine. All right, so I'm going to put this all back together, plug in the wire and connector, tighten down the 8mm bolt, and we are done. Another $15 repair that saved me I don't know how many hundreds if I would have gone to the dealer or a mechanic. So again, this is the Death Scouter. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my videos, to my channel, to get access to more videos, and we will see you next time around.